Lesson 4. Planning your lessons. Have you before traveled far away? Some years ago, I traveled to Germany. Before I flew off, what did I do? Plan? Yes. I bought tickets for the planes and the train. I planned the cities to visit and things to see. I packed. Wow. Suppose I had planned nothing. Would the trip have been successful? No, the trip would have been impossible. In the same way, you want to teach. That requires planning. Planning requires time, but it's worth it. You plan and everything flows better. You achieve your goals more often. You plan a class and the students will learn more. The class is easier to teach, and you will feel better about yourself and better about the class. We suggest 5 steps when you are planning to teach lessons. Suppose you teach one class every week, like Sunday school or confirmation class. These steps are good. First, plan the whole class from the first class until the last class meeting. 2 weeks before the first class meeting, set aside 2 or 3 hours for planning. You should have a teacher's guide for the class, and also a lesson plan outline. Make 1 copy for each lesson. A lesson plan outline is in your book on page 13. Now what? First, pray. Ask God to guide your planning. Study the teacher's guide and the lesson plan outline. Look at the teacher's guide. Then write in the top of the 2 lines in the lesson plan the grade, the quarter, the date, etc. Also find a church calendar. See if the Sundays you teach are special, like Reformation Day or last Sunday before Christmas. Next, look at the teacher's guide. Maybe it has suggested activities. Decide, does that activity match my students? Their age, ability, and interest? God's truth. Will those activities teach my students? Choose your activities. Now on the lesson plan outline, materials needed. Write the materials and anything you will need for activities. That reminds you to collect those things early before class. Take a moment now and read the lesson plan. Second, plan the first class 1 week before you will teach. First, read the entire lesson. And second, write notes and ideas on the paper. On the lesson plan outline, write the lesson steps, examples, any stories, the Bible activity, and drawing activities. You should plan too much, and then choose the main points. Other points, if you can finish early, you can do those. Last, look at the lessons for the next 2 weeks. Notice things you will need for the class. 3, the day before the lesson, practice the class. If you can, go to your classroom, set up the room, prepare, and imagine the students are there. Four, the day you teach, arrive before class, at least 15 minutes early. When students arrive, you will be ready to greet and talk with them. The class begins and you follow your lesson plan. Must you follow strictly? That is not necessary. Change it if needed. 5, the class is finished. Read the lesson plan and check that you did everything. Look at the next week's lesson plan and notice any materials you need, especially a VCR or other things you must get. Finally, thank God in prayer. He helped you give His word to the children.